Today I'm going to discuss 5 reasons why your hair isn't growing or retaining length in a protective style. So let's get into it. Alright you guys, this week we'll be doing a full wash day in my full locks, and I'll be making this tea that helps to combat a dry and itchy scalp, which y'all know has highly been the focus, especially in this dry cold weather. And while I do my wash day, I'll be giving you these 5 reasons why your hair isn't growing or retaining length in a protective style. But first, let's get into making this hair tea. Okay y'all, so we are making this tea very simple. We'll be adding in 3 tea bags of our Echinacea Plus tea blend. Y'all can pick this up in my Amazon store if you don't have it. Then I'll be adding in 2 cups of boiling distilled water. I'm gonna let that steep for about 5 to 6 minutes so that the tea can brew. And then I'm gonna go in with 1 heaping tablespoon of my neem powder. Go ahead and stir that in really well. And then y'all let this sit and infuse for at least 2 hours. During that time, I'll continue to stir the mixture to help the herbs infuse properly. At this time, it was about 4 hours later, and I decanted some of this mixture off to use during my wash day. Okay, so now that we have our tea made, you guys, I'm going to begin with cleansing my hair. Now, since I have my hair in these braids, I'm actually just going to use my tea to actually wet my scalp and then lather it up using my own shampoo bar. Sometimes I will dilute a shampoo if I have a liquid shampoo with water, about 1 tablespoon of shampoo to about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. That will also give you an easy finish. But I also want to show you guys that you can use a shampoo bar even when you have protective style in. So let's get into that. So just like any wash day, you want to make sure your hair is thoroughly saturated. Now generally I would just run my hair under water. You can still do that. I'm just being extra because y'all on my trip they lost my luggage, and so the whole time I wasn't able to use any type of teas or anything on my scalp, which left me super bummed. So now I'm just making sure that my scalp is really hydrated using the teas. So I'm gonna leave this on when I shampoo. And y'all, again, by all means, run your hair under some water. This is just me being extra, okay? Also, if you have the liquid shampoo, you can use the tea mixture. You can use the tea mixture as the base to dilute the shampoo for ease of access. Okay, now that my hair is thoroughly saturated, I'm going to go in with my own shampoo bar. So the first step is going to be keeping your scalp clean. Y'all see me cleansing my hair right now, but I really can't stress enough that whether you're in a protective style or not, but especially in a protective style, we still need to cleanse our hair efficiently and according to your schedule. Because I've seen so many times where people allow their scalp to get so dirty, not washing their hair for months on end because they don't want to disrupt the protective style. The issue is though, when you have so much dirt, oil, and buildup on your scalp, it can clog your follicles, causing other scalp issues such as dermatitis and dandruff. I've seen girls who wear braids or protective styles exclusively have severe scalp issues because of improper cleansing, leading to inflammation and eventually hair loss. So I cannot stress enough making sure that you cleanse your hair. I'm not saying you have to do it weekly like I do, but you need to do so on a schedule that works with your regimen and your lifestyle. Now y'all, usually whenever I have my braids in, I dilute my conditioner, but this time I'm actually just going to go in with my Brightening Lights conditioner because it is a little bit lighter in texture than my Oat and Aloe deep conditioner, and use that. Yes, I do condition my hair even while in locks, and though these locks are covering the majority of my hair, I still want to make sure that the hair that is exposed is getting conditioned. And this goes into reason number 2 as to why your hair may not be growing or retaining length in a protective style. And it's because you're not keeping your hair moisturized during this time. Now, I realize with protective styles such as the locks that I have here, it's much harder to reach my hair because my hair is underneath the wrap locked. So it's really important that when you put the style in initially, your hair is very moisturized and you try your best to keep it hydrated. For me, that means 2 things. Not only cleansing and conditioning my hair, but also using my leave-in spray and trying to scrunch it in to the individual locks over time, as well as using my tea mixtures on my scalp. And y'all know this week we'll be using that tea that we made earlier. And y'all, this tea has wonderful properties for combating a dry and itchy scalp. We know neem has antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial properties. It can really ward off some of that dandruff and itchiness. And keeping your scalp hydrated is really important if you're dealing with dry or extremely cold weather. And another reason why your hair may not be growing properly or retaining length is because you didn't prep your hair properly before you put in the protective style. And what I mean by that is, if you know your hair is weak, it's dry, it's brittle, it's already breaking, the last thing you want to do is put in a protective style, especially one that has added hair to it, that causes extreme weight to it, which can lead to further issues such as further excessive breaking or excessive damage or shedding when you take out the protective style. This goes for a lot of us. When we put our hair into a protective style, a lot of us do too much manipulation to get the style. Remember, protective styles are supposed to be protecting our hair, but some of us have to blow dry our hair. We have poor detangling practices. We use excess heat on our hair just to put it into the protective style. This can lead to a lot of issues later on because your hair doesn't retain length because it needed so much manipulation to get into this one style. Other factors that may stunt your hair growth are too tight hairstyles. Y'all know what I'm talking about when you get those braids or those twists in your hair and they pull so tight on your scalp and you're just hoping that you need a day or two to let the hair, release a little bit. Styles that are too tight can actually cause damage not only to the hairline, but to the root of the hair follicle and then cause hair loss. So some of these protective styles are actually doing more damage. So what you want to do is be cognizant and speak up if a style is too tight or if a style is too heavy for your hair. We know many of us do have fine strands, and having styles that have excessive hair or an excessive weight can also pull up the hair follicles, causing hair loss over time. Next is leaving the hair in for too long or for too short of a time. I know at one point, I think we've all been terrible at leaving protective styles in. And when I'm talking about protective styles, I'm talking about braids, twists, wigs, weaves for a longer time than we need to. Maybe it's because of laziness. Maybe we don't have someone to help us undo the style. But we really want to be careful about leaving a style in too long, especially in styles like braids and twists, because we get a lot of buildup right at the knot of the hair from all the oils, dirt, and lint. And then when you detangle your hair, it actually causes so much shedding and breakage. This is also something you want to be careful of, is that whenever you take down your protective style, you want to make sure you do so very gently. You don't want to over manipulate it or be extremely rough with it, especially if the style has been in for a long time, because you don't want to comb off or break off any of the length that you retain during that time. And when it comes time to leaving your protective styles in for too short of a time, it kind of defeats the purpose of putting in a protective style, especially if the protective style takes so much manipulation to put in. So imagine washing your hair, blowing it out, putting in these tight braids. 2 to 3 weeks later, you take it all the way out, and you wash your hair, you put heat, and you do it over and over again. It can cause a lot of stress to the hair and cause more good than bad. So finding a schedule that works best for you and your lifestyle is so important when having a protective style, so that you can retain all of the length that you're growing and not losing it to either excessive shedding or breakage or damage when taking up or down your style. Share some of your favorite tips of hair care down below, and stay tuned for some vacation pics if you're interested. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.